Hello everyone, this video will cover Module 9. Module 9 is the last module that will cover our first essay, which is the process essay. So the process essay is working on writing an essay over the process that you chose a couple of modules ago. You chose your topic already, you've written a rough draft, and now you're going to turn in the final draft in this module. So let me show you what I have in this module. There's not a whole lot because the main assignment is to actually turn in the essay, but a couple other things that you'll want to keep in mind. I have the resources in here for you, which will help you revise your writing. There's some information on viewing feedback from your instructor. When I look at assignments, particularly rough draft assignments and then assignments where I use rubrics to grade, in order to view the feedback, you do have to go in and see the annotated comments, and there's a step-by-step process to do that. And so you can click on this link to see what it looks like, but you want to go into your paper and then you'll click on the view feedback, and we'll come up with this box kind of in the middle, and you have to expand it in order to be able to see the feedback really well. And then you'll see annotated comments on the side. I typically use these little bubble things to comment, and then I also sometimes do the highlighting and use there's a drawing tool as well, and so you'll be able to see all of that. You're going to make changes then to your rough draft from the previous module in order to really come up with a good final draft. So the thing that you don't want to do is leave it exactly the same, because the reason I'm having you turn in a rough draft is so that you can work on editing in order to create a final draft. As you edit, obviously, I'm looking over a rough draft and I don't necessarily comment on everything. I'm going to look at big issues first and then smaller issues second. And so as you look through your own essay, I expect you to do some self-editing as well. So if you see one problem, maybe you misspell a word, maybe you have an issue with commas, I expect you to look at that same problem throughout your draft. And so you're going to be making more changes than what I suggest. And so just kind of keep that in mind. It may take you a little while to do a good edit of your paper. I always recommend students kind of let it sit for a couple of days, maybe print it out. Read it out loud is a good way. That's a good strategy to really get specific issues with the essay, and then go through it. If you have a printed copy, it's much easier to see your own issues and your own mistakes when you're actually looking at a printed copy. The other thing that you need to look for is second person. Second person is very common of an issue in the process essay in particular, but in student writing in general. So the problem with using second person is you are directing the paper at the reader, which is a set of instructions. Instead, I asked you to write a process analysis where you analyze the process being performed. To do that, you need to use either first person, that is from your perspective as the writer, or third person as a third party might complete it. And so I've got some examples here of what second person looks like versus first person versus third person. A lot of students choose first person because it's a process that they have performed many times, which means that the tips that they include and the shortcuts that they include are all ones that are a bit more personal. And so first person makes a lot of sense. Some students choose third person just because maybe they haven't performed it very often, or they're trying to give a perspective outside of their own. You just cannot write in second person. That is one of the criteria for this assignment. I do not want a set of instructions. I want a process analysis. So just keep that in mind. If you have trouble with that, make sure that you send me an email and I can give you some ideas for how to fix it. This podcast video, it's only 10 minutes long, is an excellent representation of the problems with using second person and then how to fix them. And so I highly recommend watching that. So here's the essay again. This is the assignment that you've been given. You've seen it more than once. And then you'll obviously be turning this essay in at the end of the module, which is right here. So this is your essay turn in assignment. And so once you're done with the final draft, you'll click start assignment and turn it in. Just to note, if your rough draft is exactly the same that you turned in from Module 8 to Module 9 and you didn't make any changes, then I'm not going to give you full credit for the assignment. I'll give you half credit at most. That is the whole reason for doing a rough draft, is for you to be able to make changes, improve your writing, and so you can work through that final stage of writing, which is rewriting. And if you're not doing that, then you are not putting the effort into the class and you are not going to learn anything from it. And so that is an essential step. You have to make changes from your rough draft to your final draft or you will not get full credit. So you're going to submit the final draft of the essay here, and then double check and make sure that this is another rubric graded assignment because it's worth more points. There are more points for each category on the rubric, but you can look through the rubric and make sure you feel like your essay falls within the excellent to proficient category for each criteria, and then that will ensure that you'll get a better grade on the essay. So that is the module. All you're working on is this essay and turning your rough draft into a final draft. But like I said, it may take you a little while. It may take you all week because you should be putting a lot of effort into making a revision. If you have any questions, be sure to let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have a great